Thank you to our viewers who are tuning into another CSE listed issuer update. Today we're speaking with Mr. Duane Parnham. Duane is the executive chairman and CEO of Madison Metals Inc. Madison Metals trades on the CSE under the symbol GREN. It's a uranium-focused company. Duane, thank you so much for your time this morning. I hope you're well.
It's a pleasure. Yes, I am. Thank you.
Awesome. Duane, typically in these recordings, we talk about the company and your focus, but for this one, I wanted to actually get your insight a little bit into the global and domestic uranium market. There seems to be a lot of investor interest at this time, and I'm curious on what your insight is into this space.
Yeah, well, I can honestly say that being through the 2007 excitement at a time when we were developing the Valencia uranium project in Namibia to the cycle that we're seeing today, I can honestly feel that the underlying fundamentals of today's uranium market is much stronger and powerful. And there's a lot of reasons for that. If you look back in history, in particular in '07, where I'm familiar with, a lot of countries were shutting down nuclear power. They were scheduling to shutting down nuclear reactors. And today, it's not only they restarted reactors, they have expanded current reactor life, they're building new reactors, and they've basically done a 180 in in their reactor and nuclear energy initiatives. And then, so all of this comes at a time when we haven't really explored for new resources. So we're approaching a period of peak mining production at a right when the industry is getting very, very hot and the demand is growing.
Got it. So on that note, let's talk a little bit about Madison Metals, which is the focus of today's conversation. Madison Metals is focused on project in Namibia. Can you maybe tell us a little bit on your vision for Madison?
Yeah, so Madison is a newly listed company. We're dual listed in the OTCQB and Stuttgart and Frankfurt, and of course on the CSE as our primary listing. And it's really a company focused again back on uranium exploration and development of uranium. My 22 years working in Namibia, I was fortunate enough to work with Dr. Roger Lane, who geologist ex Areva. I brought him in, and we took a historical resource called Valencia, and from about 20 million pounds to pretty close to 200 million pounds, made a new discovery. So that situation gave us a lot of insight as to working in Namibia in the uranium space and such. Now fast forward to 2024, we've got Madison. Dr. Roger Lane is with me, and we've got some very, very exciting projects, new projects, ones that haven't been explored for uranium, but sitting uniquely right beside two world-class uranium producing mines. So this is great hunting ground, great place to develop a company.
So, Duane, when you say world-class producing uranium mines, can you maybe dive a little bit deeper into what is considered to be world-class?
Well, the Rossing is the largest open-cast uranium mine in the world. It's been in production since 1976 continuously. It produces a little over 5 million pounds annually. So, that's quite a production history. And then the newest mine that just went into production is called Husab, and it's going to be producing pretty close to 6 to 7 million pounds annually. So that puts Namibia on the map. They were already on the map as one of the top 5 producing countries. They're probably now going to be somewhere around top 3 producing countries. So it's got a long history of stability, favorable jurisdiction, absolutely fantastic geological environment to find new mines.
Are there any drawbacks to having projects in Namibia?
None that I can, none other than we just lost our leader, Hagee Geinkop, who unfortunately passed away. He's the president. He was a good friend of mine, and he helped me, during the time for Valencia. But other than that, it's a very, very powerful country. It's Africa for beginners for me. It's easy to navigate around, and it's got wonderful people there. We've got an amazing group of people that work for us at Madison that we've used before. So we're all well known, and we know what we need to do, and we got a job, and we're going to get it done.
Talk to us a little bit about 2023 because there's been a lot of recent news around the Con project in Namibia. You want to maybe take some time and summarize the team's efforts over 2023?
Yeah. Well, we actually have two key projects. One is the Cobra Mine project on EPL 8531. And that one has a historical third-party verified resource of about 15 million pounds, of which they deem 9 million pounds of that economic at around $81 per spot uranium. That was a 2015 resource done by SRK, and we classify that as historic. So we have aspirations to go back in there. We know that we can expand it in all directions. So that's a great project, as our kind of our lead. But what happened was when we started looking at Con, which is situated, it's a mining license. It was issued for copper, and nobody really looked for uranium. And so when we were reviewing the radiometrics airborne survey, we put a team on the ground, and then we started doing some trench samples around some of these high-grade scintillometer readings that we were getting. And lo and behold, we're just finding some bonanza-grade uranium in these trenches. So we've now, on the ground, we've traced very high-grade uranium for over 800 meters, and we're mapping still right now in preparation for drilling. So this is a very exciting opportunity for us because, I mean, the highest grade trench in there is running about 8.57% uranium on average over 7 meters. It's running about 2.48. So our average kind of, when you look at that as a statistical analysis and you look at the whole region, I mean, we're running grades probably about 10 times or more higher than what's being mined at Rossing and Husab. So this is a great start. This is a great start for an exploration project.
You mentioned some strong not partners, but strong companies that are in the same region. Are there any other factors that differentiate you, your team, and your project from some of your peers that are in the same region?
Well, there's a particular interesting scenario going on at Rossing. I mean, Rossing, as I mentioned earlier, was discovered in '76 and put into production. And they've been mining from a single pit. It's down close to 400 meters deep. And, mining that pit has come to a conclusion. So they're running out of ore in 2025. Now, Rossing has announced a mine plan expansion. They're going to push back a portion of the pit to access some deeper ore. So they're looking at ways of expanding their mine life at the mine, which is great. However, we're 6 kilometers from that processing facility. We're finding extremely high-grade material. So if I was to evaluate sort of a fast track of production scenario, one would think that it would be reasonable to approach Rossing and say, hey, we've got some high-grade ore here. It's trucking distance. Can we toll that through the mill? So that's something that we're looking at. How that would differentiate us from any of the other operators that are coming into sort of a production scenario in Namibia is that would fast track us into instant production, meaning within, 6-7 months. It's already on a current mining license. So we can really, speed the production, and we can do this at very little capital. So where others are going to be looking for a few hundreds of millions, if not, close to $1 billion to build mines and mills and roads and water pipelines and all these things, all that infrastructure sitting right on our project.
Duane, you mentioned, you've talked a little bit about your background in this space. You've mentioned Dr. Roger Lane. Are there any other key team members that you have brought on board to make sure that this project and company is a success?
Well, yeah. I mean, we have our team of our marketing team led by Ryan Thompson. We've got Morelli support for our CFO services and accounting and auditing services and all these things to keep the public co alive. We've got the CSE, which is a great partner to have because you're helping us gain interest to investors and help us raise capital and really get us out there. So that's an interesting partner. And then I can't exclude the ones that we have in Namibia. All of these people have worked with us for years and years. administrative staff, geological staff, in the government of Namibia and such. So, I mean, it's a collaboration, and it's not just one person. It's a collaboration of very good people that we've worked with for many years, and we're all working hard to make this another great success story.
Well said, Duane. Now, 2024, taking a look at your recent news in 2024, seems like there's a lot of activity. There's an upcoming program. Do you want to maybe talk about the first 3 months and what investors can look out for from you and your team in the coming months?
Well, we've pivoted to con just because this is an exceptional opportunity for us. When you discover grade uranium at this level, at a time when new sources needed, new supply is needed. So we're going to focus on con. We have a team out there right now doing more radiometric surveys, tightening up the survey that we initially did, and then more trenching, all in part to help us pinpoint a drill program that's going to be coming here very shortly. But geologically speaking, I mean, it's really, really interesting because you have these series of elasticite intrusions, and they come in parallel veins, let's call it. And we're finding these extensively now over a very wide, broad area. And they all kind of look like they're all leading into that kind of Rossing area.
Duane, you come across very passionate and excited about what the company has in store in the next little while. We always encourage our viewers to go to your website, sign up for your press releases, newsletter, and of course, do their due diligence, read up on the team's background, the project, the region, and reach out to you and your team directly should they have more questions and interest. Where can we direct our viewers for that?
MadisonMetals.ca is our website, and there you can get all the contact details for myself and the rest of the team. So yeah, please reach out. Any questions, let us know. And I love talking about the story. I think it's a good one. It's different from some of the others you may have heard, but we'll see when this drill turns.
I look forward to posting you back on in, let's say, towards the end of summer when you've completed the program, have some results to talk about. And we at the CSE thank you and your team and wish you nothing but success as you move forward developing this project.
Certainly appreciate it. Thank you.
To everybody watching and listening, you've been hearing from Mr. Duane Parnham, who is the Executive Chairman and CEO of Madison Metals Inc. The symbol for the company is GREN on the CSE. And thank you once again for tuning in.